Meanwhile, a wild day in the House of Representatives. Kevin McCarthy is no longer Speaker of the House. He lost his post by a vote of 216 to 210 after Florida Republican Matt Gaetz brought a motion to basically boot him. 6 far-right Republicans joined with Democrats to kick him out, throwing the House into chaos. But just as the case during the 15-vote free-for-all back in January that made McCarthy Speaker in the first place, this also seems like an opportunity lost for Democrats, particularly the moderates. Maybe it's both parties. The Democrats are only too happy to join with the far-right congressman to oust McCarthy. I can't help think there is an opportunity for them to work with moderates. And since we have a Republican moderate here in studio with us, Larry Hogan, I mean, what is the opportunity here? As a practical matter, how do the moderates get this done?
Well, look, this is just proof that Washington is completely dysfunctional. You know, Congress has a 15% approval.
Yep.
These handful of far-right, extreme Republicans came up with this ridiculous motion to throw chaos into the Congress, and the Democrats sat back and watched it happen. Look, overwhelming majority of Republicans wanted McCarthy as their speaker. It's
right.
A handful of nuts, and we gave them all the attention. But these two cases coming together today, it's sucking all the oxygen out of the room where there's an opportunity for us to talk about issues that matter and try to bring people together to solve problems. Instead, it's just crazy. And none of the other candidates who are talking about issues are getting any attention or traction because of this stuff.
Is there any hope, though, that, you know, let's say moderate Democrats reach across? I wonder if I'm living on Fantasy Island, right? Where I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if moderate Democrats reached across the aisle and talked to moderate Republicans and said, hey, guys, if we get the votes together here, we can pick our own speaker.
I think there was some attempt to do that. It was just unsuccessful. But there's a group of moderates in the middle, the Problem Solvers Caucus. It's 32 Democrats, 32 Republicans. It falls under the no labels group. And they were trying to put that together. But the Democratic caucus whipped the votes to stand to vote all against. And the Republicans couldn't muster the handful of, you know, wackos and get them in line.
Yeah.
So I'm still hopeful, but it's really showing that we can't govern, and it's
so frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. This is what Kevin McCarthy said this morning about Democrats reaching out.
What are the Democrats asking you for? As you try to build support, I imagine, from Democrats in this case, I imagine they're going to try to drive a hard bargain.
You know what? They haven't asked for anything. I'm not going to provide anything.
That's the problem. I'm not going to provide anything, right? I mean, why say that?
Well, it's absurd. So, you know, they were hitting him. Gaetz was saying, you're going to make a deal with the Democrats. Well, actually, Gaetz was the worst thing to happen to the Republican Party. He sided. The handful of nuts sided with the Democrats to oust McCarthy. McCarthy, look, people are elected to Congress to try to find consensus and to get things done. I was a Republican governor in the bluest state in America with 75% Democrats in both houses, and we got things done. But to say you can't work with the other party to come together is absurd. It's not why people are supposed to be sent to Washington.
The moderates have to step forward. I view this as an opportunity. I really do. I just
don't think
that's right. Well, that's what I'm worried about, is that it's going to be a missed opportunity.
Absolutely.
Right?
You know, I'm still hoping we can come up with a solution, but it's pretty much of a disaster today.
Larry Hogan, good to see you in person.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.